guys! So today I am doing my very first holiday look, I believe. Yeah, the holidays are my favorite time of year, so obviously I wanted to play around with some glittery, fun type looks for you guys. This time I did actually break out the MAC holiday pigments. So last year I think they came out with ones that were in like a little package, and I don't know why they put it in this like cheap little plastic container, but this one's called Silk Stocking that I end up using. Any gold pigment will really work, so that way you don't have to worry if you don't already have this one in particular, but that is what I used. Here is the look now. So I played with just a pop of color. I did use some purple underneath, and then it's kind of a more neutral-ish, if you want to even call it that, with the gold pop of glitter in the center of the lid. I'm kind of bummed though because I feel like it's not as easily noticeable in the camera lighting that I have right now, which I'm kind of bummed about. But starting next year, I plan on, by the way, having legit lighting so that you guys can be able to see my things a little bit better, because as of, you know, since I started the channel a few months ago, I've been using just natural lighting, which I guess has worked okay, but obviously I want to make it way more better for you guys. Slowly but surely, you know, moving on up. So if you guys want to see the look that I got going on right now, then keep watching and please subscribe.
Alright you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and start off with my Too Faced Shadow Insurance, and I'm going to go ahead and just apply that with my fingertips and just rub it all up around the surrounding area that I'm going to be applying any eyeshadow. Alright, now I am first going to be applying my transition color. I'm using Bamboo from MAC, and I'm just applying it all around the eye area. This basically matches my skin tone, but it's going to act as a base for the rest of the colors I'm going to be using on top of it. It also makes blending way easier later on down the line, which will really come in handy. I'm then going to darken up just ever so slightly with MAC's Cork eyeshadow, and I'm gonna kind of apply it more so on the outer areas of the eyelid, so the outer corners, the crease, and kind of in the inner tear duct area. And then I'm just kind of soften the edges. I then want to warm it up just a little bit because I think it'll look really nice with the purple below. So I am then taking MAC's Texture eyeshadow, and I'm kind of just going to put it all around where I basically already applied Cork, but it's just going to warm it up and also just help with the blending and it looking all nice together in general. And of course I like to go back in with my larger fluffy blending brush just to make sure everything is looking all smooth and airbrushed. At least as much as possible, right? And then to darken it up, I am going to take Embark and apply that more so on the stick to around the crease area, and I'm gonna kind of line it up with the outer area of my lash line as well. So mainly it's gonna be darkening out that edge, you know? And then as usual, just blending it all in. Alright, so now I'm actually going to take my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, but this color is in Greed. This is the first time using it, and I really just wanted it to make that shimmer pigment really pop. So obviously it is gold, and it helps it stick a little bit extra. It's exactly what we need when we apply any type of glitter or pigment of any kind. This wasn't necessarily my favorite, but it worked, and it did add just a little bit more glimmer to it. So then, of course, I'm taking MAC's Silk Stocking, and this was actually, on the container it says crushed metallic pigment, and I mean, it's Silk Stocking, it was obviously for the holidays, so I don't believe they have it. I don't know if it was out in the newer holiday pigments or not, or if it was just a one-time thing, but it's basically just a gold metallic pigment, exactly as it says. Anywho, so I basically just applied it to the center of the lid and then kind of lightened it around the edges. And now I'm just taking that same texture color and applying it all around what I just applied the pigment to, so that it softens the edges and kind of blends it into those warmer neutral colors. And I am actually taking it all around into the inner tear duct as well, and then moving it into that shimmer. That way it's not so harsh. Get that to my liking. I'm gonna go ahead and take MAC's Smolder Eye Khol, and I'm just gonna kind of lightly, if possible, apply it to the outer area of the lash line. And it doesn't have to be perfect because I am going to be smudging it out, because I don't want it to be a very defined, dramatic eyeliner today. I just want it to make it look a little bit more bold for the lashes, because it's the holidays and why not. So then with a spongy smudger brush, I'm just going to kind of buff it out a little bit. Now we'll move on to the face, and I am using Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer in the Color Correcting Adjust. This is the green one, and I'm just, with my fingertips, applying it to, mainly concentrating on my T-zone. Alright, so I am using for my foundation today Kat Von D's Lock It Tattoo Foundation, and this is in the color Light 45, and with a damp beauty blender I am dabbing that all around my face. And then using MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NW15, I am placing that basically in the triangle shaping underneath my eyes, as well as any leftover on the sponge. I'm going to dab, you know, any places where my makeup tends to break up throughout the day. And I'm dabbing it in with the smaller side of my beauty blender. And you definitely do not want to drag your concealer, because the skin is extra sensitive below the eyes, and that will just smear and cause creasing. So that's why I really, really like the beauty blender for this. Now to set my concealer, I am going to use my Anastasia contour cat, and I am using the banana shade. And I'm basically just dusting it all around where I just applied all of the concealer with a highlighter brush. And I'm really just dabbing it in. You don't want to smear too much, because then it'll kind of move it around a little bit. And this will help it last a little bit longer, as well as add to that highlighting effect. And then everywhere that I did not just apply the banana powder, I am taking MAC's Prep and Prime Transparent Finishing Powder and dabbing that all over with a large powder brush. Okay, so back to the rest of the eyes. I'm so sorry, but I depotted this MAC eyeshadow and I did not keep the name of it, so I don't really know. But it is kind of a light fuchsia-y color. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I didn't have the name. But I'm using it. Any kind of light fuchsia, pinky, purple color will basically do the job. But I'm just buffing that all around the lower lash line. basically from inner corner to outer corner, just all up in there. Then to darken that up, I am taking MAC's Deep Damson eyeshadow, and I'm gonna put that closer to the lash line, a little less messy, using a pencil brush, and applying it more so to the mid to outer corner of the lower lash line. And then I decided to tightline my eyes, so just on the top outer area. This is kind of unnecessary, I just kind of wanted a little bit more darkness right there. Kind of random. Then I decided to take my transition color, which was Bamboo, and apply that to the outer section of all of my upper eyeshadow area, if that makes sense, because I just wanted to kind of soften it up there. And then back with the fuchsia e-color, I decided to put it in the inner tear duct, just all together. I wanted it to be a little more noticeable because I noticed how light it was, and I kind of liked how this turned out, so whatever, right? There are no rules. If you have any fallout, I'm just using that same highlighter brush that I used to set my concealer to kind of dust it off. And then I decided to spray Fix Plus on a smaller brush this time and apply a little bit more of Silk Stocking, just because I felt like after I put everything else together, I kind of lost a little bit of it, and I wanted it to be a little more dramatic. And again, I'm just keeping that to the center of the lid and not bringing that up above the crease at all. So now with Deep Damson, I am darkening it up more, and I felt like Embark on top was, it needed a little more warmth. So with Deep Damson, I'm basically applying it all around, surrounding the Silk Stocking gold color, just to darken it up, add a little more dimension, and really just bring it all together. And this will also connect the lower lash line purple to the top as well. That way there's not that disconnect. Now with my L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara, I'm applying to the upper and the lower lashes. Alright, and moving on, so now to contouring. I am taking from the Anastasia contour kit the Java color, and I am going to basically apply it to the areas I want to darken the most. So obviously right below the cheekbone, and concentrate more on the outer edges of the face. And then I am taking Fawn with kind of a fluffier, this is just a blush brush, and I'm just going to soften that line a bit and bring it up. I don't want to bring it anywhere below the line I just created because that'll just drag your face down. And I'm going to basically buff that, or kind of dust it all along the hairline up to my outer forehead area. And then also to blend it around the ears and down along the jawline as usual. Everybody's face shape is going to be different for this too, so you don't need to do any of this. You might want to put it in different spots. It all depends the face shape, but you can get the idea at least. And then I'm just going to contour a little bit on the nose. So I like to bring it down the sides in a straight line and then kind of dust it out along to blend that line so that it's not super awkward. And that is also using the Fawn from the Anastasia Contour Kit. And then to make sure that I don't lose that highlight that I already set, I'm just using that banana color and taking it down this straight line of my nose. And then to highlight, I am using MAC's Soft and Gentle, and I'm just dusting that along the cheekbones, the nose, all where the light would basically hit your face. Now moving on to lips, I decided to go a little neutral just because of the color and glitter, and you know, we don't want to get too crazy. I mean, obviously I would love to, whatever. Moving on, I use NYX lip liner in Peekaboo Neutral, and then I am going to top that off with MAC's Fresh Brew lipstick, which I love, and the Peekaboo Neutral just kind of pinks it up a little bit so it's not super brown. I really like this combo. So this is the final look with eyelashes and all. I just used some red cherry lashes. But thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this look, and happy holidays. Please subscribe. See you next time.